All right. Well, welcome everyone to episode 31 of our podcast. And what is our podcast? I don't have it in front of me. What do we call it here, Megan? We call it
Remax Premier TV, I think.
Premier Realty TV podcast 31.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. I'm very happy today to have a guest with us, Megan from our marketing department, who specializes in social media. Hello, Megan.
Hi, I'm taking over Nestor's area.
Yes, she's in the boss's seat, so be careful. Might learn more, or get more responsibility than you're interested in. So,
Yeah. Inside for that.
So maybe you could just real quickly tell us what you do here at Remax Premier Realty.
Real quickly. Okay. I'm in charge of social media. So basically for Remax Premier, I do Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok now, and all the email blasts that you see to repost on your social media. I'll help with video as well and help with Daniel with some flyers as well. So I'm trying to be diverse.
Yes.
But mostly my main part is social media.
Very good. Yes, and you do it well. You know, I'm going to give you a little plug right here so I don't forget in this video. I saw it come out right before our podcast began, which is your Friday. I don't know what it's exactly called, but it's like a social media content email. And this one, man, you outdid yourself with this one, Megan. It had all sorts of content. It has pictographs, it has articles, and you had a few links in there to different things that we do around the office, like Meet the Agent video. This week you featured Bhavna, which I understand is performing very well. And then you had one of my recent articles that have been posted to LinkedIn. So that's one of the things that I think you do that is amazing, because content is so difficult. It's the biggest stumbling block in any sort of marketing, but certainly social media. So thank you for that. It's a fantastic piece.
Yeah, they told me from the beginning that that's what Sarah used to do. So I looked at a couple of her templates and I just thought, you know, we should spice it up more, make it more customizable, make it more fun. And then Nestor told me to maybe change the subject line so it inclines some agents to click it and open it. And then if I'm trying to advertise other things, why not put it in the email as well? Because if I put stuff online, I might as well put it in the email. So I've just been adding more and more things and trying to be different every Friday too.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's all solid content and so useful. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, the reason we're here today, I think, is in response to us, you and I, just starting weekly meetings so that you can help me with some of my social media. I'd consider myself maybe a dabbler. You know, I'm not real good at it, but I do a few posts and I'm kind of a voyeur. So I go out there and look and see what's going on and do the little likes. And
you know more than I thought you would, if that helps.
Well, thank you. Getting better, and I'm committed to it. So it was a great meeting. And so we thought we would have you on and share a little bit about getting started in social media and how you help and what people should be doing.
Okay.
So I thought, I got a couple notes here. So let's give this a little structure. And I think probably the best way to start this is, what advice do you have for agents to get started? So consider me, you know, the dabbler and the voyeur in the social media world. What are the small steps that aren't going to be roadblocks, right? Because if you ask me to do too much, I'm just going to shut down.
Yeah.
With limited knowledge, how do we get more into social media, and where should we be doing that?
I feel like the easiest would be Facebook to start. Normally when I meet with agents, the questions that I ask that get them overwhelmed is the things that I need is their email and their password to get into their Facebook, or their username on Instagram. And then they're all like, oh, I don't know what it is when I just log in and just logs in. And I'm like, the best thing I tell them to do, what we do in marketing too, is we keep like a a set template of every agent's, username, password, all that stuff. So if you don't know that from the beginning, that's just a little overwhelming. So if I ask you for all that, because I need to be admin in those things, they're like, I don't know what those are. So I have to help you reset it, and I have to help you get in, and then all that other stuff. So I suggest when you start, write it down or put it somewhere that you'll remember, or maybe use the same password or the same email for all of them. That might help. But I think Facebook might be the best way to start, maybe easiest user friendly. You can just start a business Facebook page, and then later on we can connect that with Instagram, because since they're owned by each other, they connect. But I would say maybe with your Facebook page, just post a couple of things that you would want your clients to see. Like, this is the community that I'm farming to, or this is what I'm doing on the weekends. Easy stuff. I would say start there.
And I guess, I know I talked to some agents, and some agents are super extroverts and they love to talk about what they're doing. They love to see what other people are doing. And yet we have other agents that are like, yeah, no, that's not my thing. I don't want everybody knowing my business. And so tell me if I'm right or I'm wrong here. I try to guide them. If they're more of a private person, I encourage them to do the Facebook business page. And if they're more of an extrovert and they like the social aspect of it, and they're going to be posting or, communicating a bit, I tell them to get a personal page. Would you say that's a good way to go?
Yeah, you do need a personal page to start your business page. So if I didn't mention that, yeah. So a lot of people post all their real estate content on their personal page, which is basically their friends and family. I mean, it's great if you want them to see that, but if you want to be separate from that, I suggest you do the business page, so you could just be real estate and professional or whatever you're trying to portray to your clients. Because sometimes people get political, or sometimes people talk about something else that maybe your clients may not like. So if you're trying to portray like a certain thing, I would say do that.
Okay, that's a valid point, and it's neither good nor bad. It's
Right.
just being aware of it, which is, this is kind of off topic, but we should never get into those subjects. Be careful about what you're doing. You don't want to offend people. Try to be as neutral as possible. And
you want to show who you are without being biased in specific things, I guess.
Yeah. Oh boy, I had a point there about that. Oh, so yeah. In sales, especially real estate sales, it gets so tangled up in family, friends, your personal life. So I know people who operate strictly on their Facebook page, their personal Facebook page, and they love it, and they want their clients to know what's going on with them, and they want to share things, and they go back and forth between business and personal. Does that work well? Do you see a lot of agents doing that?
Yeah. I see them go back and forth, but like someone example, Victoria, she's very active on Facebook. So since I'm in control of her social media program, I post on her business page, but the things that we post is based on her discretion. So I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna post this for the week. She's like, okay, sounds great. It's all real estate, but still a little bit lighthearted. But on her personal page, she'll still post things that she wants to. But I've noticed that when she posts about food or her family on her business page, she gets more engagement.
Ah, there we go. So she actually uses both of those avenues.
She does both, yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, very cool. All right. So getting started, you got to have a Facebook page. You recommend Facebook. You got to have a personal Facebook page. So you can almost leave that. Let's say you're like, hey, I just want to do the business page. I either don't have a Facebook page, or I just don't post to it a whole lot. Do you just leave kind of a dormant page with not a lot on it to give you access to the business page?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard when agents are just starting off and they literally have nothing. If you have like that business page and something with other things on it, and it shows that you've posted in the past. It just shows that you've been there, you're engaged, and all that other stuff. And then if you have a business page, you can boost stuff. You can put money on it, and you can add, like, I know a couple of agents, we put on like a virtual open house or something. They've got like 1,000 engagements or something just because they put $10 on it. Something crazy. I recommend it. I mean, it's not that hard. You just put all your stuff in there, and then every once in a while post, and then yeah.
Okay. Now, one thing you let me know about was Instagram, which
Yeah, that's like the big one, the main one, but that one's a little overwhelming because
So
when you ask me questions about it, I wanted to answer it in the simplest way possible, but sometimes it's hard.
So that's based, but there's a line, right? So if you're kind of in your early to mid 30s, that's your primary social media, is it not? Versus Facebook for us older people like myself.
Yeah, they say that the Facebook is the boomers and the Instagram is the millennials.
Oh, boomers! Whoa, 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 whoa! Let's get that. Clearly Gen X. So let's not get that line.
I'm just telling you, that's what they say.
Yeah, but when I go into my house, actually, even my wife is into Instagram a lot, but my kids, I mean, they live there, and I don't even think they have Facebook accounts. So.
Yeah, I mean, I barely touch mine.
Okay, so I'm not comfortable with Instagram, but I do Facebook. Is there any way for me to link those two and
yes,
have them both acting when I'm just functioning out of one?
Yes, so there is a way, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but you could connect them. So if you were to post like a photo, it would also go to your Facebook page. You can set it to your business page too if you want. But also if you post a story, it'll also go on your Facebook story. But my question is, why do you love Facebook so much more than Instagram?
Because I know it. I grew up with it, right? I'm sorry.
It's sort of the same concept, right? Like you're constantly scrolling and seeing posts and photos, and then you like stuff, and then people tag you and things. It's kind of the same thing.
I think it's just time and grade, right? So Facebook has been around a long time. So I got involved, I understood it, and I just have comfort with it. And I'm sure I could do the same thing with Instagram, but it's just the time, the figuring it out, and it's just an extra thing. So I am interested. I do go on to Instagram, but I think it's just going to be a slower adoption rate for me because I'm already there with Facebook.
Right. So, do you go on Facebook every day?
Yes.
Just to like see what's going on, what your friends and family are up to?
That's funny that you say that. That is probably this much. I've got about this much that's groups that I like to see what's going on, my interests. So I found different groups that have interests of mine. So I go to surfing, groups. I go to fishing groups. I go to all the
like that's what you look forward to when you open Facebook, are those things.
You know what that's a good question, man. You know what I do? I open up Facebook and I go right up to the little, I think it's a little bell at the top, which are all the notifications. That's the first thing I do. And I say, okay, what's going on?
Right.
If I posted something, am I seeing engagement? So that can really affect your emotions. You got to be careful, because if you post something and you go to your notifications and there's nothing in there the next day, that brings you down a little bit, right?
I took this marketing class in college, and there's like a reason behind that. Like they made the notifications bell with that notification for you to have like you're in Vegas. Like when you do a slot machine, that just the motion of it, and then when you win, like the notification of winning, it gives you like a boost of dopamine or something.
Yeah.
So if you go on Instagram and you see like someone message you or someone liked your photo, like you feel good about it. Like it feels great. So when you see like, oh, I have 12 notifications with one friend request, you're probably like a little bit of, oh, that's exciting. Like you would want to go on it tomorrow.
Yeah.
They do that on purpose.
I'm sure
that's why Instagram is kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So I got to check. I'll get into the Instagram. I got to check that out. But yeah, I do like that. I like to go check my notifications. And then there was this guy, as a matter of fact, I have his book right over here. I can't see it from here. His name was Tony something. And he said, what's powerful with social media as a salesperson is not just going around liking everything. I mean, that's okay. And not just commenting on your friends and families and other posts, but his gold mine was, okay, so Megan makes a post and I see it. I think, oh, that's cool. Then someone posts a comment that resonates with me a little bit in some way. And I respond to your friend's comment and say, oh, that's so cool. You know what? That's exactly how I do it too. Isn't that interesting? I don't think everybody gets what we get, or something that helps you expand your reach by not just communicating with all the same people all the time, but making that extra reach. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's called something, the bystander effect.
Mhm.
I watched this video once, and it was an actor who was wearing like a full nice suit, and he was laying on the floor in the middle of this crowded sidewalk or something. And all these bystanders wouldn't help him because no one else would. But that one person that did help him, then all these other people were like, oh my gosh, yeah, I was gonna help you too. Are you okay? Like, it's kind of the same thing too, because one of my friends got engaged last week, and I was like, oh, that's nice. But my good friend commented congratulations, and I was like, since she commented, I think I'll comment too. So then I was like, oh my god, congrats. But I wouldn't have commented if I didn't see her comment.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I guess it's true.
It's that first in thing, right? Because you're like, okay, I think what I see here is a person in need on the ground, but I don't want to be the fool that says, hey, are you all right? And have them tell me to shove off or something, you want someone else to make that commitment, and then you'll just jump in behind.
I know. I don't know. But I guess I didn't think about it when it happened. But I don't know if you noticed, but Instagram and Facebook do that. Say that there was 1,000 comments, but the one person that you happen to be close with, it shows their comment.
Yeah.
So say that I'm following all those other comments, it doesn't show all of them, it just shows the relevant one. And then that's probably why I commented, because I knew that one person.
So-called relevant one. I do that. I like to open up all the comments. I want to see.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's another thing I do. Yeah. So I'll look at something and
I look at the most liked comments first, because that's normally what I'm thinking, and then I'll like the top liked one.
See, that's interesting, because I want to open the comments, because I'll look at the post, say, oh, and I'll have my thought about it, and I'll want to see if anybody else has a similar.
Is thinking what you're thinking?
Or a contrary. So I'll look at both of them.
But like, we won't comment that. We'll just be like, oh, I'll see that.
Well, sometimes I'll comment, but a lot of times I'll respond.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, that's crazy. It's like a psychological.
So for me, right, 47-year-old Travis loves Facebook's afraid of Instagram. What would your first piece of advice be for me to get involved?
Create one, for one.
What's that?
Create one.
Okay, I've got an account. I'm a voyeur on Instagram. So typically, I don't know if there are groups on there or not, but there are people. And so I'll find people, and they typically have a subject or something that they're interested in. So, right. So I follow Rob Machado because I know he's a surfer. So it's going to be surfing related content. And then I follow this girl, Valentina, I think Thomas is her name, and she's a spear fisherman, and I love spearfishing. So I follow them because I find them interesting people that participate in sports or like a subject that I like. Yeah.
So like for me, I follow like funny memes or funny design, groups and stuff like that. And then for our Remax, I follow broke agents and actual agents. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're really funny. That sometimes I get my inspiration from them.
Oh yeah, you need to send that over to me. I want to check that out.
But I don't know if you've heard of Instagram's algorithm.
No.
Instagram's feed isn't based on like chronological order. It's based on who you engage with the most. I'm not exactly sure, but as soon as I go on Instagram, the person who I probably talk to the most is going to show up first, even if they posted like 3 days ago. Rather than, so if you like all the surfing and all that other stuff in the Valentina girl, she'll probably show up first in your feed, so you could probably engage in them. Because some of us get bored after endless scrolling and we'll just leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
But I think nowadays I'll probably scroll and look at 10 posts and then I'm over it, and then I just go on stories. Like I think that's the new thing. Because just stories are way more fun and way more engaging than just like a photo.
Yeah. Okay. Stories. So now you got to tell me about this, because this is permeated into the Facebook world. I think it's got to be 50% or better of the traffic in Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's a story?
A story is basically a 15-second video or a 10-second photo, and it goes away in 24 hours. You could also add filters on it, text, whatever you want. But I'll say in the beginning, when I posted stories on Remax, I would repost, just like informational things, like about housing interests or someone else sold a home, basic photos. So, and then Nestor approached me and he was like, I want you to post stories of anything you want. And I was like, anything? And he's like, it doesn't have to be real estate. Use your judgment, but anything, like behind the scenes or whatever you think is funny, or you just getting coffee. And I was like, but that's about me. And he's like, yeah, but we want to see like what the marketing department does. He's like, my goal for you is I want to hire a new agent, and the agent comes in and goes, oh, I know her. Her name's Megan because I watch her stories. And I was like, okay, I could do that. So I started looking at the impressions and the engagements on her story. Probably around 9 people looked at our story. 9. And then I started posting funny stuff, like when Daniel was just, eating a muffin and it's Monday morning and we're just getting started. Or Nestor's coming in and he says, good morning. And I was like, what's up? And he's like, my monitor broke. And I was like, ah. And he's like, it's fine. He wasted soon. I was like, he wasted soon. Or the other day, Booge got updated. And me and Daniel were just doing accents. We're like, update your Booge. I tell you right now, that video got like 40 views. But like I gave some informational story by being just whatever. Like I didn't think about it. I just did it. So you shouldn't think too much about it. Like I didn't know you surfed until Nestor told me. Like that's cool. Like you should post, like he told me you surf like almost every day in the morning before you come here. Is that right?
That's true.
Like wouldn't it be cool if you're like on my way to surf, or like here's my board, or me waxing it, or like the tides are low or something like that. Like that's cool. Like people want to know
think about it. Yeah, it does cross my mind now. I got in line at San Onofre the other day. I think I just wasn't at the right moment. I couldn't get it right, but I was thinking about it. And I guess that's the first step. I was there at 5:45 in the morning, and there were like 50 cars in front of me. I'm like, oh my God, people need to see this. And I just couldn't capture it right. But that probably would have been a good post.
Yeah, like of just the beach with the time, or you drinking coffee, or you with your kids, or you on your way home. Like, I think a lot of people are curious about people's lives outside of work.
Well, that's a great way of putting it. Yeah.
They want to know like your personality outside of it. So when I've been making those 20 question videos, we ask questions that are kind of about your personality, things outside. And when you figure it out and I edit it, it's fun. Like you want to know who they are.
And I have to give you props for that, because if you just ran the video, it would be good. You're going to get some information, and you kind of, with video, you get to see the person's personality. And but man, when you edit it, it just magnifies what they're seeing on the video.
It gives you like a visual, right, of like what they're saying. That's kind of how I envisioned it. And as much as I try to tell agents, like, they're like, oh, I'm so scared. I don't want to be in front of the camera. I'm afraid to do that. And I'm like, the first time I film you is probably the best time because your reactions are so organic and it's so real. And I promise I won't make you look bad. Like I'll make you look funny or however you feel. Like with Amy Caves, oh my gosh, until we post Amy Caves' video, so good. So good.
Yeah, that was a fantastic. And Kevin, I like Kevin Dover's bikes too.
His was good because his were just simple answers. He's like, I like country now. And then I added like country music in the back with a little hat. It just plays it off good.
Yeah, I guess we just got to say to people, you know, it really is, just do it. Just film something. And, you know, in your businesses, so I think a lot about what have agents been coming to me about a lot lately? Have I heard the same topic a number of times? Is there a particular struggle or a particular topic? And when I have that on my mind a lot, it's like, wow, look at all this opportunity coming at me. And then just shoot the film. Just put the camera up and just shoot it. And I guess you can take a look at it, but you should just post it or take a look at it and see how.
Yeah, like that video you did the other day with you in the car about morning routine. You got a lot of engagement on that on your LinkedIn.
You know what's funny about that is I was worried about the length. I thought this is never going to be long enough. This is too short. I literally shot it. I'm like, that was so short. I thought it was like a minute. And Nestor's like, no, that was a 4-minute video. I was like,
yeah,
what?
that was a long video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also when it comes to stuff like that, as long as you're short and to the point, but I also think it's because of me, I'm a millennial, like my attention span is
direct.
So small.
Yeah, so there you go. I just took a chance because I knew it was a topic. I thought, hey, I want to speak to this.
Great start.
And I just shot it and I sent it to Nestor. Here you go, people. Here's what happened. I sent it to Nestor and I think my subject line was raw, uncut, off the cuff video. And I said, hey, Nestor, what do you think of this? I haven't even seen it. I just know that I filmed it. Let me know your thoughts. All right, ready? You people ready for a panic? This was Nestor's response. Posted it. It's out on Instagram. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? I don't even know what it looks like. But there you go. I mean, it's got, you know, when you do it like that, it's got personality. It's got genuineness to it. And so I think people need to have a little faith.
I also think you shouldn't think too much about it. Like, don't overthink it. Don't
script it.
Because if you're gonna make a video where you're just thinking on the spot and then send it to Nestor and say, is this okay? Like, what do you want to portray? Like, honestly, it won't. People will like it. Yeah. I mean, that's just how it is. That's like saying, like, I'm going on a first date. This is what I'm wearing. Is that okay? Is this okay? You're being you, and if they don't like you for you, then oh well.
Yeah, and I'll say I've done a lot of video now, and I think it's all been worthwhile. Some's been great, some's been okay. The scripted is the least engaged with. If I do the scripted and I put it out there, you know, people are watching it. I think there's great value in it because those I'm trying to get some information out. But when I just do something off the cuff and send it out, I get unsolicited responses. That was great. Perfect. All right, good. I'm like, really? I was just talking.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my first impression when you did the podcast, like, you're a great speaker. You're a great public speaker. You're very comfortable in front of like mass amounts of people. So I think I thought it was weird when you were scared to post a video of you just talking about a morning routine. Like, I just think you should do it because you're really good at it.
I appear composed. So there's another lesson for you out there, people. Behind this facade is fear. So it's natural. Don't worry. You can get by it.
Were you scared like the first time you were to make a video or a podcast?
No, once I was scared, but I was hesitant for sure. Yeah.
Okay. What got you like, what made you feel more comfortable for agents that are afraid to make videos?
Just do it. Literally. I think that's the only way, is to
Mhm.
just compose an idea in your head, listen to Megan, make it short. So I've learned you're not going to be getting 4-minute off the cuff videos from me anymore. They're going to be 60 to 90 seconds long,
Or shorter.
and just do it. You know, if you haven't done it for at least the minimum, just do the video. Grab your iPhone, do the video, and now it's not posted. Don't go ahead and post it, then watch it. I'm always surprised when I go back and watch it and go, oh, wow, that was pretty good, actually. You know?
Yeah, but even if you don't like it and you're like, oh, I wish I would have said this, or just try again next time or something like that. Like, I
Yeah,
think people are just too hard on themselves. They think too much about what people think, but I get it, you're in the real estate world, like you need to portray yourself a certain way, but if that's who you are and you've got the message out, but you're afraid that you looked weird or you acted strange, no one's going to notice but you.
yeah. And the hesitation, the little mistake that you correct, you know, all
Right.
of this, the genuineness that brings out is so magnetic to people. So it's not a problem. It's actually helpful in your videos.
Yeah, like I remember Janice Lee, she had to do a virtual tour live on Facebook for the first time. She came to us, she's like, I'm so scared. I don't know. And we're just like, it's fine, it's okay. And I literally said, like, you are behind a phone. There's no one else there. Like it's just you. And it's probably she's like, well, what if I go into a room and I didn't say anything or I didn't know what to say during that time or I missed it. And I'm like, well, you missed it and then you could try again next time. But
Yeah,
don't be so hard on yourself.
yeah. But she did it. I was so proud of her. Yeah.
Yeah, she did. She did great. Like,
She's just forging forward. Damn the torpedoes.
right.
So that's awesome. Okay, well, it's on my head, and then we're going to switch over to another topic here real quickly.
Okay, Nestor asked, what is a good app for social media posts and what do you think about Canva? Have you ever heard of Canva?
I know the name. I don't know what it does.
I use Canva when I put it in the eBlast and then for our social media. It's basically a little template tool to help you post whatever content you want with some like professional design without having Adobe.
So would that be where maybe I get a post, like my wife posted something, and I was shocked because I'm like, wow, where did she learn to do that? And it was
Right.
a picture of each one of my kids on the first day of school sitting at their little predetermined school seat in our house. But
That's
then it was
cute.
framed, you know, it had like 3 different little frames that the pictures fit in. Is that Canva?
Yeah. No, she probably did like an Instagram layout.
Okay.
So when she puts 3 photos, it breaks it up into like certain
Yes.
ways that you want. So she did that, but Canva's a little bit more advanced. So I could add text into a photo, or I could add like a nice background, or a little gradient, or something with maybe motivational quotes or anything like that. But a lot of agents have it. I suggest if you plan on posting regularly and you want to post stuff like that, it's a great feature.
Fantastic. Canva.
Canva.
Okay. All right. The question I had specifically in regards to stories, I think I mostly see it on Instagram, but I'm sure it's on Facebook as well,
Yes.
is I will go and see someone, say it's my wife posted something, and I'll go, okay, what's this story about? And I'll click on it, and then I'll see at the top that I'm going to be going through a series of things. What is that?
So I feel like it's basically said and done with the name. So when you say that I make one story, the line is kind of like you watching a YouTube video, that little red line that until it shows you where it ends and begins. So say that I posted 1, there'll be one long line, but say that I post 2, there'll be a line and a gap and then another line. So I know that there's going to be 2 stories within her post.
So the one I saw recently that was freshest in my mind was someone I know, and they went on vacation. And so it was a very predetermined series of posts, you know, so it's a dotted line at the top, but it started with, hey, we're going on vacation. Then a lot of vacation pictures. And at the end was something like, looking to go home or gonna miss it. Did those all get posted at once somehow?
Yes, I mean, it can. So say that I were to post your video with your morning routine, say that I cut it to like a minute and I put that photo in my story, it would cut to, I'm not good at math, 15 seconds divided by a minute.
Whatever the time is, okay.
So, but it would post all at once. So you could do that. I mean, but it's up to you based on your discretion, but it's only 24 hours.
Gotcha.
I think it's
Sounds
cool.
like an advanced technique, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I also like the idea of the story being throughout the day of relevance. So Nestor, I think one morning he came in, he's like, hello. And then I posted it with the time. It was like 9 a.m. And then he came back and he forgot like a thought. And he came back, it was like 9:03. And I posted it again. He goes, hello. And then he came back one more time. He's back. He's like, I had one more thought. And then at the end of the day, he came back and he's like, okay. And I was like, goodbye. And he's like, oh, we're saying goodbye or something like that. So throughout the whole day, it was just him like, hi, bye, bye. Like, it's just stuff like that throughout the day that I'm sure people would love to see.
That's funny. Very good. Okay. What's the other one called? LinkedIn. So LinkedIn.
That's one I got you on.
I remember when LinkedIn was raw, right in the beginning. I didn't think that company was going to make it. I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't get this. And they really didn't have a lot of features. It was very focused on who are you? Can I find people? Can they find me for professional reasons? And now it's like, my goodness, it's almost just like a professional Facebook or Instagram where, yeah, I mean, like you're posting for me and I'm posting some things and people are, you know, interacting with stories and things. So what's with this LinkedIn?
I mean, I feel like it's changed within the last couple years because when I was in college, they made me get a LinkedIn and I had no idea like anything about it. But they're like, for you to pass this class, I need you to post your work history, a profile photo, and I need you to get 4 recommendations and a certificate. And I was like, I don't know what any of this stuff is. So, but like I slowly got into it. I think that one's really user friendly, just like Facebook. It's really easy to learn. I mean, you could back me up if you think that one's easier than Instagram and almost the same. But yeah, I see a lot of people, like I get notifications saying, oh, Travis has just had his work anniversary. Congratulate him. Or blah, 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 just changed their job title. Say congrats. Or it's their birthday. It's kind of along the same lines of, you know, social media in a way, but in a more professional kind of thing. So the post that you would make isn't something you would post on other social media types like Twitter. Like you wouldn't, you know, when you tweet random things about your life rather than LinkedIn, like it's appropriate for your blogs when you post your blogs on there. So, I mean, I don't go on it as often, but I used it literally for work, which is what it's meant for. So, do you go on it as like to reach your family and friends? Not really, right?
No, yeah, you know, I think I just set it up at one point to give me the notifications of things going on, and so I'll go in there and just kind of poke around to see what's going on, but
like your followers are probably coworkers of mutual friends, like not your wife doesn't follow you or your kids.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like acquaintances and people in the industry. And I'm sure if I was job searching or something, you know, I'd probably be more interested in it.
Normally, that's with like ZipRecruiter or something like that. They have you tag your link for your LinkedIn instead of your resume sometimes. That's like the newest thing.
Okay, so that's interesting. 2 things on that. One, they just put on mine, it said, someone has viewed your profile. I was like, ooh.
Yes,
Who's
that's kind of
checking me
scary.
out? So I went to go see, and it's like, oh, you need to be premium to see who checked you
Yeah,
out. I'm
that's
like,
a good
darn it.
selling tool. But sometimes it gives you the option to look who it was, and you want to see them because they looked at you, but you know that they'll get the notification that they viewed you.
Huh?
But yeah, it's kind of weird.
Right? It grinds against my voyeuristic tendencies. You know, I don't like being exposed like that.
Well, I mean, think about it. So many people probably look at your Instagram or your Facebook, but you just don't know about it because you don't get the notification. But
Yeah,
isn't that what you want? You want people to look at your stuff.
exactly. I don't want it to be ruined. I don't want that happening.
Yeah.
And the other thing, and maybe this is a good thing for all the agents out there, is what catches my eye is when I know someone doesn't have theirs updated. You know, like, hey, why don't you say hi to so and so for their such and such anniversary at such and such a company? And I look at them like, they don't work there anymore. You know, what is that? That's not right.
Yeah, like if you don't update it.
Yeah, it's like, come on. I think, you know,
Uh,
as agents, that's important. You know, I think people would appreciate it, especially if you're a corporate type of individual, and
mhm.
maybe you want to make sure yours is updated on there. Maybe you spend a little more time than other people. I think there's more of those people than we realize, and so to have yours updated, have some information that they can look at, is really going to legitimize you, and it may be a source for where people are going to look before they decide to do business with you. So I think it's really important.
Yeah. When you hire people or look at agents, do you look at their LinkedIn
You
prior?
know, you caught me. I do not. I Google them. So I want to see where they
Okay.
pop up. And then I go to Facebook to
You go
find,
to Facebook first?
yes, I go to Facebook and Google.
Okay. So say that you want to hire this agent and they don't have a Facebook or Google. What do you do next?
And then I say, well, I mean, it's usually someone who's contacted me.
Okay.
So I'm like, this is awesome. I've got an instant uh, opportunity to say, hey, we can really help you. You know, you are
Okay.
missing the boat here. You're not with the times unless something's happening that I don't see. But if I'm not seeing it, then other people, prospects and whatnot, aren't finding you. Are you
Why
aware?
do you check their Facebook and not maybe their Instagram?
Yeah, that's what I need to change is looking at Instagram and
Because
then
what if they have an Instagram and LinkedIn but not Facebook or
oh
Google?
yeah. And then I would look like an old man, wouldn't I? So I better be careful with that.
Then you interview them and they'll be like, "Well, I have an Instagram and
Yeah.
LinkedIn, but oh," or something like that.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you're right. So I need to expand it. So I'm going to do that. LinkedIn, definitely. That's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
And Instagram, because I'm just trying to get more into Instagram. I mean, I enjoy it. I do go on there. And let me ask you this. You know why I go on social media more than I probably would is I either intentionally, I don't recall, or it just happened automatically. We're on my phone. Whenever there's notifications or certain activities, I get little bubbles on them that say, hey, and it's got a number that says there's this many things going on your site. So I go
Right.
in there regularly, mostly just to clear those bubbles. What I
Oh,
don't realize is I'm actually going through the content things while I'm doing that. So I'd
yeah.
suggest to agents, if you're not getting that, maybe you should on those sites say, hey, notify me when there's any activity. It kind of forces you to be engaged.
You know what I think is when you go on Facebook to go on your surfing and all the things that you like to look at first, right? And
Mhm.
Nestor told me you like listening to podcasts and YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I bet you those people have Instagram. So maybe if you follow them and follow some surfing stuff and maybe that Valentina or whatever, you might go on there more to see like what they're up to. Or maybe they'll post a story saying like newest podcast up or new YouTube video. Cause I bet you those people aren't just on YouTube or just on podcasts.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because my people on YouTube who I've saved and the channels that I've subscribed to, yeah, I come to think of it, I don't really look at them on Facebook or Instagram. So I should probably try and make that link. That's an
Cause you
interesting.
probably just go to that one place that you know that they're at.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But I think you probably don't go on Instagram because you don't like the things that you're viewing and you're like, this is overwhelming, I'll just leave. But if you follow all the surfing stuff that you're into and all the stuff that you like and all the people that you might want to see, you might go on it more often and it'll be part of your morning routine.
Haha, look at that. We're back around. Very nice. All right, well, we're getting up here on about 50 minutes. So unless you have anything that you want to talk about specifically, is there anything that we missed that you were hoping to touch on?
The one thing that I want to get through is the stories on Instagram. I recommend that people start doing that. Like I said earlier for Victoria, with her Facebook and her Instagram, when I post for her, I could check the analytics on there, but when she posts herself about food or family, it gets way more engagement. So as long as you just maybe do the minimum of just like posting one story a day, like, or of just your lunch or something like that, people want to see that stuff as much as you don't think that they do. They're interested. Like, wouldn't you want to see what your favorite surfers are like, what they're up to with the, like, this is the craziest diet I've ever seen. You're like, oh, I didn't know about that or something.
That's so funny you say that. I'm just thinking back to this one that one of them did, and he's just got up. He's like, all right, going down to the beach today. And it literally was him driving. It was the place he went to get his breakfast burrito.
Where'd you see that?
What's that?
Where'd you see that?
Boy, it was a little while ago. It was probably YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's a pretty long one.
Yeah. So if you see like a story of him doing it that morning, you might be like, oh my gosh.
Little 15-second blips along the way.
Yeah, I'm sure he does it. Yeah.
I'm gonna try that. That's a cool idea. Okay.
So, yeah.
Give us some of your top tips or tricks. What are things that you like to do, or what do you teach the agents that you see that they're not doing, or that you think are cool things that can be done on any of these sites?
Probably get on top of the latest trends before they become mainstream.
Okay, give us an example.
Like Reels on Instagram. I don't know if I told you about this or if you've heard of it, but there's been some talk about TikTok that it might get deleted. So I think Instagram tried to take the step forward and try and create Reels, which is something similar to TikTok. So Reels is basically the same, close to the same thing as a story, but you could edit it more with video or with sound. So most people do like voiceovers or dancing and stuff. So Nestor came up to me and he was like, Reels just came out. It just came out today. And I like looked it up and I was like, oh my God, it just came out like now. So then me and Daniel made one. We got like 750 views. Just so if you jump on stuff, like when it happens, it's more likely for you to get more engagement than later. So if you're all on Facebook and on none social media, I suggest we catch you up on all those things. Because you never know like when the next new thing is going to come out, but when it does, I suggest you jump on top of it as soon as you can. But I know, like, just like my mom, she doesn't like doing new things, trying new things. I told her one day, I was like, get an Instagram. I was like, you could see like everything I'm up to. You could see everything I post, all my stories. Like, she's like, I don't know, like it's just a lot. And I was like, here, I'll make her an account for you. And then that's all I did. I just made her an account, and then she slowly started getting into it. Now she's all about it. So if we just go to a farmer's market, she's like, let me take a picture. I just and then she posts it everywhere. But funny story, like this is how engaged she gets. Probably like 2 months ago, we had our street repaved, you know, and she's like, write your name on the pavement. And I was like, okay. So I wrote my initials and she took a video of me. She's like writing her initials, but she tagged the location of like Rancho Santa Margarita. And I was like, okay, whatever. So then probably 3 days later, we get a knock at the door from a police officer. He goes, I need to speak with Megan Collins, please. And I was like, and he's like, I got a complaint from somebody of the community that you wrote your name and paved on the road. And I was like, he's like, is this true or not? And I was like, oh my God. So somebody clicked on that location and saw my mom's story and complained to the sheriff's department. Like, that's how far it got.
Busted.
Isn't that crazy?
So, are we going to see you picking up trash by the side of the road as a penance?
Well, okay, funny story is I did it and a car parks over it every morning. He's like, I checked, I didn't see it there, so you're okay. There. But there's a car parked over it, so you can't see it. But I'm just telling you, she has like 20 followers.
Wow.
The fact
Watch
that it
it,
went that
people.
far, insane.
Okay, what's your favorite thing to do on Instagram that people may not be aware of?
Favorite
Or
thing?
a trick or tip or something like that?
Probably I really like, exploring new filters, and I also like reading all the statistics. So I don't know if a lot of people know, but you can make your Instagram a business profile. So rather than a personal page. So if you have a business profile, you can see the insights on how many followers you've been getting, how many impressions, and how many engagements, and where your followers are from, and their age, and their gender, I believe. So, and then it shows you how many people looked at your story and, went back or skipped it, or how many people looked at your post and like saved it or sent it to somebody else. So seeing like what does well and what doesn't do well is kind of fun. But I look at that stuff all the time.
That's a big can of worms you just opened up. We're going to have to do a whole episode on that, or maybe one of our lives. So I'll only ask one question, and then we'll leave the rest for another time. Is that separate from your normal Instagram, or how does that work?
When you make an Instagram, it automatically gets set up as a personal. But if you go under settings and you just change your account to business, it'll change to all those things.
So you can only have one or the other?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, people. I'm not that into social media, but
That's fun.
New to me. So I know there are a lot of you out there going, what? Wait a minute. What do I need to do? So we're definitely going to make something out of that. Okay. Well, we're at 54 minutes here, and I don't want to take up the whole day, even though we could talk about this forever. This is very interesting stuff. But Megan, thank you so much for participating and being my guest today.
Thanks for having me.
And Remax Premier Realty agents, Megan's there for you. Go take advantage of her and the services and insights that she has to offer. And those of you listening that aren't part of our team, well, hey, this is what we offer. This is the service and the content. So keep that in mind and touch base with us if you'd like to know more. And otherwise, I'd like to say thank you so much, Megan. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody on our next episode next Friday. Have a great week.
Bye.